going?
Yeah, I thought Oksana was coming too.
Oh, well, we can wait a few minutes if you want to.
No, that's right. I can tell you what's going on. I'm with the events committee, and some of you I know were on the committee here prior to COVID, and I had met with you a couple of times at that time to discuss a float for the 4th of July parade. And at that time, we were talking about doing an agricultural float. And of course, COVID came along and everything was dropped. And then we didn't have a float until, well, we had one the last couple of years. But one of the things we're thinking about doing this coming July 4th is to have another float. And again, with the idea of having it deal with agriculture in the town. So we wanted to make you aware of that. We hopefully would like this committee to be on board with us. You know, I don't know if you've seen our floats in the past. They're done on a large flatbed with from the highway. And there's an area in the back that we can put some pictures and things, but we thought about maybe a farm and that type of thing, but you know, we don't know if you have some ideas as to what you might want to do or whatever, but we just started talking about it. We just brought it up at our last meeting, so anyway, we just kind of hopefully we'll have you guys on board with us or whatever. You know, we would keep you informed as to what's going on. Or
in the past, there hasn't been any agriculture related float that you've done, or not that I remember.
Not like directly ag, like your brother always often brings his tractor. 1 year,
Tim's been coming with us since we started
Yeah.
7 years ago or something.
and then the 1 year, the farm friendly community signs went up, I think.
I
We
remember
had
that.
those, but that's probably as far as ag goes, that's probably the limit of it so far. The floats themselves, yeah, I don't think they have ever been specifically agriculture. Usually it's like they did the airplane for the celebration of the airmail thing, and then they did the lake 1 year with the park and everything, and then
Yeah, last year we hooked up with the Watershed Association.
yeah,
Being kind of dedicated to Canandaigua Lake, keeping it clean and around the idea of the flares and that type of thing. You know, some of the things we talked about at the last meeting was maybe have a live animal. I don't know, sheep, calf, that type of thing. I know a few years ago when Ray Henry headed the barn tour, he was able to get a full-size cow that was fiberglass or plastic or something. But just some things to think about, maybe what we could do, what kind of theme we could have.
Do you
It'd be kind of
photos?
nice on the side to have a list of all the farms in the town, that type of thing.
I think we could come up with like a fiberglass cow, and that could be, I think that might be better than a live animal, especially sometimes. I know last year 4-H had some live animals and it was really hot, and sometimes it can be not the best for the animals.
Really stressful.
It can be.
So I think we can come up with a fiberglass cow possibly, because we had borrowed one from someone for fun on the farm. And I'm not the best at thinking of these kind of things, but I'm sure somebody will come, we'd be willing to help, and I think it's a good idea.
I was gonna ask, do you have photos of the past floats? by
I do,
chance?
and I should have brought some.
If you could share those with us, it might help.
I
spur
think
some
if you go on the town website, I don't know if it's a Facebook part or whatever, there are some photos of the float there.
Okay.
It's a good sized float. You know, the other thing we talked about, we didn't know if maybe you could pot some corn or whatever, because we always have in the past had some plants and things on it or whatever, maybe get some crops.
It'll be nice to represent everything, agriculture in the town, so there is maple syrup, be soybeans, corn, animals, not just one or the other, whether it's with pictures or with anything different, but yeah, just give a representation of everything that gets grown. produced.
Tony event.
You know, if you don't object, I'll come to some of the meetings and maybe
Yeah.
we can bang around some ideas. I know it seems like July 4th is a long ways off, but it comes fast. We always in the past have started
Oh,
in
there was this-
January talking about our float. Um,
Oh, look at that. That's
usually we get, oh, no, that was
There was the
many years ago.
steamboat.
That was our first year, I think.
Yeah,
You know, 2 days before the event, we meet over here in the town barns and start putting it together and things. Kurt Knopflock has been very helpful in the last couple of years of designing our floats. He's very handy and stuff, so.
Yeah, I could see having a couple different displays on there, like you brought up maple, like somehow have maybe not a real maple tree, but something made like one with some pails or tubing on it to represent that, and a cow and some other things.
Yeah. Here's an idea of on the big trailer. This was the one celebrating the park.
There you go.
They had a big print of the lake and like a kayak and stuff. So I mean, like if you use this big, what do they call this? The low boy?
That was our 30th anniversary for Ononda Park.
Yeah, the big
Um,
flatbed thing. Anyway, this is a highway trailer that they
Valerie
use.
Knopflock had the picture there that's in the back of the lake done for us. But we thought maybe at the back like that, we could have a barn or a farm or that type of thing, but we like a lot of plants, but in this case, maybe we could have pots of corn and wheat. Some other things, but
Yeah.
if we can start banging some ideas around, then we can get it organized.
July, what's
Any
grows
others?
in July? Just about everything.
Everything is growing.
Yeah,
Depends on the year, how big the corn is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
But if
probably
we
can
plan
find
ahead,
other pictures.
We
but
can
that's
plant
probably it.
some potted corn and grow it earlier. So that
Yep.
it's really developed by then.
Yeah,
All right.
it's fiberglass cow. And, maybe a slideshow on the back of the. Of all of the different producers, it's. Digital slideshow might be appropriate.
It'll be tough to get a slideshow to show in the sun.
I don't know how you do it, though.
You have a list of all the farms and stuff coming.
We have tried.
Does
It
someone
should
have
really
that?
be updated, because I don't really know. I've got an old list that we made. When did we do that?
It was probably 6-7 years ago.
Yeah. when we
There's
first started
probably-
this.
In the first couple of years of this committee, I'm sure it's changed by now, but
Did you get the
but
list
you-
sent to you?
no. Did you
I
email
had-
me one?
I sent, I might not have included you in it.
Did it come like right after the last meeting? I don't know.
I sent it a couple weeks ago.
Kinda in between.
Okay, let me see.
You can send it to all of us, right? I didn't see it.
I thought I did.
I think you did.
Oh, I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
You do?
I don't.
I didn't get it either.
The last email I have from you was
What was that?
the one that said you were coming to the last meeting. Mm,
And if you wanted live animals, and there's a couple chickens that.
And there would be no pressure. We won first place since every year that we did
Yeah.
it.
I titled the October's meeting and then I sent on one saying, wait, I thought this, I had
You
the
see
wrong
get some bales on
month.
there.
Yes, I did
Bales
get
would be
that.
good.
Okay, I just,
And then Ag and CDGA
You
was
could
my.
get a big round bale and put the American flag in it.
I do have it. I
Great
just saw
big,
that.
Okay, so there's a list right there.
I saved it. I kept it safe. I just didn't save it. in-
How long's the list?
Number
10.
20.
Oh. I mean, that could be put in a small banner like along the side of the float or something. But
Unless
anyway,
you-
you know, the next couple of months or whatever, been thinking about some things and
Yeah,
you don't mind, are you gonna have a meeting in December?
We generally meet every month. We've talked about sometimes, there's some months where we don't have a lot to do, so we might skip a month occasionally, but. If we wanna start planning this in January or so, then
Yeah, we usually, in the past, usually January, we start talking about it, so if we have to order supplies or have something made, that type of thing.
Or if you guys wanted one or two people from our committee to come to one of the events committee meetings, if that would make more sense. When you're,
Do you guys meet in the evenings or in the day?
Yeah, we meet
Yeah.
the second Friday of,
They over on Fisher.
usually meet the second Friday of every month. We're not gonna meet in December.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking.
But do you meet in the evenings or during the day?
There's-
It's
At what time of day?
9 o'clock.
I don't think I have.
In the morning?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes it really hard for some of us.
it's easy. Most people are retired and that one's.
Yeah,
All right. I'll let them know that you're interested and we'll come up with some ideas.
Yeah.
Oksana's phenomenal with coming up with some ideas and Kurt Knockblock does a great job of designing the float and stuff, so.
Yeah.
All right.
great,
Awesome.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
we
you,
could do-
guys.
Thanks. See ya.
have a good night.
I guess we can do referrals. Did you wanna see if like the people are outside?
Oh, yeah,
you-
if they're leaving, I can go and lock. Is that what you mean?
No, she had people coming, they might be stuck outside.
Would they try to get a hold of you?
I don't know if they have. a number.
I did unlock the front doors upstairs.
Okay.
So if they
I
can't,
came in through the upstairs and it was all that.
yeah, I unlocked it in case other people came.
The one that you had asked about more information. The one that had the campsite and all of that will probably be on your December agenda. They were looking for more information about the,
Yeah, and that one's gonna
Agriculture.
come through multiple times anyway, because of their site plan. Well, I think they finally got what they wanna do figured out. For the most part, so yeah. I think they're ready to move forward.
they might wanna review the
There's any-
exits.
Oh, if you want to,
If they had questions that they were
just make
looking
sure,
through.
hate to have some standing here,
Okay,
can be a little confusing on.
I mean, I put it in the
Door deck.
workspace, but
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
not very many people,
There will be after the new year.
that and it's not concert season, that's usually a lot.
Yeah.
I can come down, but I cannot go up, so.
oh, you can go up in the elevator. Did you need to go up there?
I was just gonna see if there was someone in there.
I can, yeah.
I don't, there is no one here in the lobby.
Did they know that it was, did they know like where in the building?
Yeah, I told Tim.
All right, yeah, I'll check.
But to Davis,
Yeah.
well, we might as well start these.
this is Dave Emery's place on New Michigan Road.
Yeah.
He's looking to subdivide off 10 acres. I believe it's his daughter will be building a house there eventually.
So he's talked about that for quite a long time, I think. Do we have, is there any other info with it or what? I'm trying to. Is that, the buildings that are on there, that's his house and barns?
Mhm,
Okay, so it's to the south of that,
mhm.
which is. Currently being farmed, I believe.
I
I
can,
don't know
I can,
if we can look at the actual,
let's see if there's an ag statement here.
Is there any soils information or anything?
It's really hard to see.
How far out do we go in Michigan? Just trying to look for it in the map.
Is that better?
It's right before
Little better.
Town Line Road.
Yeah, there's no one out there. They have the goats.
Oh,
And I left.
Is it this one?
Okay, sorry, which one is
when
this?
you said goats, I know exactly where it is.
Emery. And this is just his subdivision.
No. Right here. So it must be. Got it over here somewhere.
You want me to bring up Encore?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out exactly where it is.
It's
That's
the front, then it's gonna be this.
Yeah.
Stretching
The goats are down in there.
And they said you can put it because you already have buildings. Doesn't take away access to it unless it's kids and it's actually from.
I've looked
I
at
think
those
that-
goats for
that's all
years.
that's there. He doesn't really do all that much farming anymore.
That's
And why are we getting this?
because it's a farm.
Because it is a farm. It's producing corn or whatever. I thought it also might be close to,
It looked like it's more hay than corn,
yeah,
depending on when the picture was taken. It's
Twenty
actually-
twenty-one is that
yeah,
image.
But it is all adjacent.
I think
to-
I've seen. corn
yeah,
in
that's
that
got it.
field.
No, he tends to have a lot of grass around
Yeah.
there. So.
It could also be in an ag district. The Ontario County Ag District, if they're in the district, you guys automatically get it. Or if there's one next door that's in the ag district, which they're probably all in it up there.
judging by its location, it probably is under really significant pressure, for development, I would guess. Town Line Road is just to the north
Mhm.
and
But you already brought up the map, right? The site.
The plat, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the town line road is down.
about there.
Yeah, yes. We just have to make the assessment of whether it affects farmland or not. I personally don't, if his daughter's gonna build a house there, I don't have a problem with that, I guess. So looking at it, yes, it would be a loss of farmland.
It is. a
Yeah,
lot of
How
farm.
that's right.
significant, I don't really. Think that's significant, but
She mentions probably land that has already been lost, but. It's
You know what? I can pull this up too.
it is a pretty long field in there, just taking 10 acres on the front just makes it hard to do anything else. So you can consider. Everything to be relatively lost in there.
I drive by there all the time and I rarely see anything other than the grass.
yeah, just grass.
So I would say it's a loss of non-productive agricultural land. If you guys want to label it somehow, or not very productive agricultural land.
And as in productive, you mean it's not being used for agriculture?
A lot of time, I don't know if that, quite a bit of his land is listed as prime if drained. I know that he doesn't agree with that. He thinks his land is not as productive, which he would know that if he's farming it.
Yeah.
So So,
There is also some farming practices that may change the results regardless of the type of land you have. Like,
um, so I think we just have to keep it simple and say yes or no, so I would say that it is a loss of farmland, but
a second that one.
not significant.
I'd second that.
If we can just put that note in there, it's not significant,
Mhm.
so we still have to vote on it. All in favor, say aye.
I,
All opposed?
I mean, if his daughter's gonna live there, it, maybe she wants to take care of the goats too. So. You would have a succession plan in place.
That's a wood I thought.
Yeah, this one, I looked at it the other day, it looks like a lot of woods.
A very pretty area.
Where is this located?
Middle Cheshire. Do you know where the Notre Dame retreat house is?
Yeah,
Just across the road from them,
awesome.
just in front. That's right. That's the address.
Yes, it's on Foster Road up. Like if you take from 16 and go up the hill on Foster. I could just scroll to it if you want, but won't do it.
Yeah, it wasn't giving me this one.
What do they want to do?
Subdivide it and build homes.
That's a pretty short frontage. For a small frontage to get in.
That building, I think, is coming down or it's already gone. And then on that map she had up, you can see they're gonna have a road in. And the houses will, the two front will have frontage on the road, and then the other three of their driveways will front on that private road, private driveway, I guess, shared driveway.
Where exactly is this? I mean, I know that you said it's by,
So there is the entrance to Notre Dame.
okay,
It is just
Do you see? She's got it on the screen.
right across.
yeah.
I don't think that they can see the lake, but it's not too far for get some lake view. I would say this is not a loss of agricultural land. It is more for a forestry committee to.
There still, isn't there a tree committee or something?
Yeah, but right now they don't get any referrals.
Unless they're making maple syrup on those trees, there is no agricultural loss in there.
No. Probably not.
Yeah, so,
That'll be my motion.
You guys probably got it because there's probably an ag district within 500 feet.
Yeah.
Somebody in an ag,
Across the street is being farmed,
yeah.
and in the back, which we can debate that this is creating extra traffic, but that whole street is just
Well,
lot
yeah,
after
it's
lot after lot
Foster's.
after lot.
Just neighborhood anyway.
okay, so we had a motion that it is not a loss of farmland. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Just out of curiosity, does this also go towards like a watershed committee? It's building all those houses right there, probably is gonna mess up the watershed.
So we do not have a watershed committee. We have environmental conservation board. And when someone comes in to build a home. During the review, they have to go to the planning board and the town engineer reviews everything to make sure that they have. Considered drainage and how, rain from the roof is. Gonna be conveyed where it's going, and if, there's large driveway and stuff, they have them usually build rain gardens and stuff like that. So, I mean, it does get reviewed, but. It's about as far as that goes.
So you haven't heard from your people that will come?
No. No, I'll talk to, Tim comes to the bank periodically, so I'll just talk to him and we'll try to reschedule it for the next one. But I guess we could still talk about planning something, cause I think we were talking about doing. Like a panel like you guys did at the fair a couple years ago, but during the winter, when everyone has like an off season. And then having the ag fair in the summer that's more kid focused.
Yeah, it'd be probably kind of. The panel, I don't know, it might be kind of tough to plan something for the winter at this point. We
Yeah.
try to focus on summer event for the kids. What was the, I know we had some, I brought the wrong book with me, I don't have all the notes from last
I
time.
did too.
Was not here last time, second.
Mainly, I think we shouldn't piggyback off of a different event, we should have it specifically for us. And what we could do differently, cause I wasn't there, so I heard from. My mom and dad and Tim was at it.
It was unfortunate that we had to go indoors.
Mhm.
I think that we lost in the sense that. We ended up setting up almost behind the inflatable, so people necessarily didn't have to walk through us.
and
Well, what we had prepared originally, it was gonna be a little more
Right next to the playground, yeah.
front and center. We didn't have any control on that one. That was the weather that dictated that we went inside. So there was a little bit of bad luck and a little bit of. Yeah, maybe if it had been our event, we would have set up right in front of the doors where people are coming in.
Yeah.
So they had to see us.
Or yeah, in a way that at least they have to walk by.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was the first one. There was not a lot of movement, but it was the first one. I don't know if we expected to have
Well,
anything.
the crowd that
drastically
was there
different.
was for the movie night, and so I don't know whether it's the right crowd for what we want to try to promote.
It is town residents, right? That's, at the end of the day, we need to reach them all, one way or the other.
If you have kids though, you need something that's fairly interactive and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Pools filled with water,
It's always
stuff like that.
a winner. It's always a winner.
And I guess we can also have like on the flyer that I'll design, we could try to incorporate, okay, well, if it rains, we'll go to the civic center. Cause I think, like I said, I had people messaging me when I had no service up the Adirondacks, being like, well, where is this? They didn't see it.
Yeah, they did put a sign.
Okay.
The event is moved to the civic center. It was one of those highway signs that
Okay.
just changes, but it was just one, so.
What do you guys think about doing this during farm days? Having a presentation or a panel on during farm days.
I thought did they sell the place? Are you talking about in?
Like your
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, fun on the farm?
That's
Yeah, fun on
every
the
other,
farm.
that's every other year.
that's every other year. Okay. But that's really, people are really interested in, just the farming and in that group that's coming to Fun on the Farm. I don't know.
I think the main focus of the event that we were trying to plan was to promote not just like one specific farm, like all of them in the towns, like
Yeah.
the maple syrup, like the honey.
The honey, Yeah,
I think it'd be good to have like some input from some of the people you were talking about, because they would have an idea of how to plan those, or what to do, because that's, I mean, but you got, everybody else might have ideas too, but that's definitely not mine.
The reason that we have tried to piggyback with others is because we are not necessarily very good at bringing the crowd in. So we have always tried to let others do it better, bring the crowd, and we just try to.
Or
Promote.
extension might even know of some events that it might work well with,
Yeah.
other ag events. I understand the reason why we're not piggyback with another event. You just have to have enough size to draw people.
You have to offer something that. People wanna come see more than just. Maple syrup and honey from the town of Canandaigua, you know what I mean, like. I don't know,
there's not a lot of uniqueness to that.
Might it be worth talking to somebody from the events committee about the fact that we want to do something and see if they would
And-
work with us?
I don't know if anyone is aware of what they're doing here, but there is Macedon is having oh, I think I get it. Yeah, the first annual Manchester Shortsville Holiday Lighted Tractor Parade. They are doing that this Saturday. So that's something that they're trying to get people to see tractors moving along, right?
They do
Ah.
stuff like that, and on Main Street, and then Cheshire did something last year.
So events like that are a little
at
more
Christmas,
Yeah.
activated.
that's fun.
If we went to Cheshire Park and watched them go by, and all the fire trucks were had lights on them, and yeah, they did a tour. And they posted on Facebook their route.
Oh, that, yes, I know what that is,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think they do something in Canandaigua, because the bank participates in it. And I remember seeing tractors that were lit up a couple of years ago, right down Main
The
Street.
city did like a tree lighting parade, so that, yeah, and they had. The snow plows and the highway trucks and stuff, And other like 4-H came, or who, the Kiwanis was there, and it was a Christmas light parade, and then they ended at the little Commons Park there in downtown and lit the Christmas tree, and Santa came. And the Shortsville reindeer people came. Do they do that every year still?
I think so.
Yeah.
They're asking for
Started-
volunteers.
It started a few years ago, and that's cute too.
I've never heard of that.
They haven't been doing it for very long, a handful of years maybe.
I think I went to that like 10 years ago. It's right by the tailor's shop. Where the park is, right next to Crown Jewelers.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been going on for about 10 years.
I think there must have been a gap, because when we lived in Canandaigua, they only did it like the last year we lived there.
Oh, okay,
But maybe they said they were restarting it, like maybe it was something they had done before,
awesome.
and then we didn't go again because we moved out to Bristol, but. It's cute.
Well, we need to decide exactly what we want to do first. And then within, like, probably like Dennis was saying, the January timeframe of starting the planet would be best.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be worth talking to somebody from events?
I think you could, I do know that I've heard them say that they get pretty tapped out with the events they work on already.
Okay.
With the parade, and then as soon as the parade is over, they talk about Halloween at Ononda.
Okay.
Which pretty much takes over the rest of their year. Cause they're both pretty involved events, they start planning the parade early. We can always ask and see if they wanna partner.
I'll reach out back to the Crawford Extension to get 5 those.
Yeah, 'cause that'd be helpful to have somebody that's better than us, I guess, at planning things. Would have ideas to draw people in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I'm sorry, I brought the wrong stuff too. I have all the notes from what we talked about before. But I agree with Bob. You have to decide what's your goal. And from there, you know, who are you trying to reach and how are you gonna get them to show up? And what are you gonna give them once they get there?
Is the goal the same that we had for the movie night? You know, where we want to promote local agriculture? And if so, you know, who wants to participate in it? Or is the goal different than that?
I think overall as a community, we want to preserve agriculture, so anything that promotes the importance of like having agriculture. Whether it's the products that you get or the views, or we want to make sure that people don't overwhelm the town with negative comments about odor and slow moving vehicles and dirt in the road and whatever it is that they can complain about agriculture. We're gonna make sure that they understand the importance of why having it and why they have to not only tolerate those things, but actually embrace them, as there is beauty on them.
Well said.
That's the only way that we're gonna preserve it, right?
Yeah,
People actually
absolutely.
start liking it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and if you do get kids to come to something, the parents come, so it's a good way
Mhm.
to
Okay,
get
that's
both.
good.
So you need something definitely for the kids, if you wanna go that route.
You do
But
that.
parents have to get a little something out of it too, but their kids are getting something out of it, they will.
Also, like for the kids, you could have that, the corn pool, you can have a couple of animals there, the food trucks, I think we would still ask if they could come. So everyone could get food. And then if you have all the local vendors selling the products, that's something for the parents. It's like if the Rocky Ridge is selling the maple syrup, that's something for the parents, or the honey or something. So I think you have it. I think you have everything for your target market, but it's just
You know, we really haven't talked about the history of farming in the town of Canandaigua, you know, to any real extent. And by identifying the history, it sows a fabric of the culture of agriculture within the town of Canandaigua. And, you know, if you can go ahead and do that, you'll find some people that will put the blanket over and gain, you know, get comfort from it, like you were talking about, Fernando, you know, to embrace it. So I think that
History has not been the culture's friend lately, so they're trying to hide all history and
One of
past.
the things with the history too is that you can talk to the town historian. He does little presentations and draws a decent number of people. Could ask him to feature agriculture at one of them
there was
and probably
That's a good idea.
join with him somehow. I mean, you know,
there was a gentleman who did a couple of presentations at the Bristol Range last year. That's right across the street from the entrance to Taylor County Park, and it was about glaciers. And he brought in a lot of people for it. It was like a 4-part series. So
Was it Bruce Gilman?
maybe.
He does some New York State geology type, he used to teach at FLCC.
Yes, that was him. He brought in a good crowd of people.
He does.
My boyfriend and I were the youngest ones there, but still a lot
Yeah.
of people.
to South Bristol
Mhm.
down there.
That's a good idea, actually. That's not exactly the same as what we're talking about, but. If he already knows how to, where he would prefer to do that, or how he gets people to come to those. Be worth talking to him. Be a different crowd, different type of event, but that might be an easy one to pull off if he was willing to do it.
I feel like you could have like an itinerary of sorts. So like next weekend I'm visiting my friend up in the Adirondacks again, and she sent me an itinerary that she lives in Old Forge, so all these shops are planning different things, and one's like a horse-drawn wagon, something else is like face painting. So like you could have and they're all going on at the same time. So you can have like an itinerary of like in one of the shed, like the the inside places, you could have like your speech, or you can have like in an outside near the playground, you could have the corn and the food trucks going. I don't know, just an idea.
You just said, horse drawn, you know,
Yeah.
that would be pretty interesting to go ahead and have a horse drawn carriage and have it sponsored by, you know, producers. So that, you know, on the back of it might say, you know, Rocky Ridge Farm or something like that. Draw people's attention to it. Here's my website. I don't know.
Horse drawn anything will draw people.
Yeah,
Well, let's see if you can get anywhere with the extension to give us some
Yeah.
ideas or some help. It might be a little tough to get people in December with the holidays and stuff, but we can try.
what about the cooperative extension? I'm sure they have a pretty good history. You know, you could probably draw something from that if you really wanted to.
So you're gonna, before or soon, you're gonna check with them about actually coming to the next meeting. And if we can't, if we can't get help from that one, then we have to dig in a little bit more and see what we can do.
Who is the historian? Who's the town historian?
Leaf Hergesel.
Leif Ergesson.
Mhm.
And I will contact him. Just to see what his thoughts are. That's an interesting idea.
You're not likely to get young people
No,
or
it'd be a
kids
different
at a
type of-
historical presentation, but. I don't know, there's a lot of people around here who like the historical presentations, they tend to show up for it. You tend to get more people for that stuff. Um,
How many years was Ray on this committee?
Since it started
Since it
until
started.
this year.
Yeah.
So,
Did he receive any recognition for that after he left?
well, when he retired, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have been out of town when they had that party.
Yeah, because before Lee came. When Ray retired, it may have been the same year that a couple other people retired, it was kind of I feel like it was the year that we had several people leave,
Mhm.
we did plaques and stuff like that.
Cool.
So hopefully we have a little bit better idea next month. We don't wanna wait till last minute like we had before, cause then we can't do anything. But we're talking about it and getting started earlier than we ever did before. And we did something last year and we know some things we might have to change a little bit, so.
Big strides.
I do think of what we did, if it was at the park, it would have worked better.
Probably,
I was actually trying to think if there. Some kind of farm related kids movie that you could actually do a movie night. And what we did.
Broom. Tim and I watched Broom when we were growing up. And it had actually with a farm out in Avon, the dairy farm right on.
Oh, yeah, I remember those
Yeah.
things, those movies.
Yeah.
There's gotta be something newer though,
I don't
maybe.
know.
Has to be positive towards agriculture, because they have made a couple of. That
Not
was not
farm.
necessarily what they should be.
Every time I drive by the farm, I'm like, oh, that was in that movie that I watched when I was a kid.
Yeah, they were actually pretty good, pretty well done.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anything else, anything from the town we need to know about?
Yeah, probably. Doug, our town manager, has accepted a job to be the city manager in a city in Texas. So he's leaving in January.
Oh,
I kind of heard that, I didn't know he was going to Texas.
Yeah, Duncanville, Texas. I guess it's near Dallas.
Okay, good for him.
is he from that
Congratulations.
or is he just completely new for them?
He's not, his wife is from Mexico and they do travel down there quite a lot, so it does put them closer to her parents. But that's geographically probably the only reason that I would say Texas is a family thing for them. Otherwise his, family, his daughter's up here, his wife's daughter's up here too. But no, he probably found it through his connections with ICMA, which is the International City Managers Association. So that'll be a big change for us as far as administrative stuff for the town goes.
Have they started a search?
They have a resolution on their next town board agenda to officially start a search.
So I thought I'd heard that the supervisor job was becoming a full-time position.
I think it's going to be, the budget has passed and there's more money in the supervisor's account line for next year than there is this year. But I think they're still keeping the same supervisor, town manager, government, but I'm not sure that it would be another person like Doug. I just don't know. They're gonna discuss it on Monday. And the search committee, which is gonna be the town board anyway, but officially it's a search committee. We'll have to figure out, what exactly the roles are gonna be for the town manager versus the supervisor and everything. I don't think they know exactly what it's gonna look like yet.
What else? What other changes in personnel have occurred?
Jean Chrisman was elected to be the county clerk. So she will not be our town clerk anymore, also starting in January 1st is when that takes effect, so she'll be the county clerk. And then the town board will appoint someone to fill her unexpired term, because it's an elected position, but the term's not over right now, so there was nobody was running for that position this past election cycle, so they'll appoint someone to fill it until that term is up, and then it'll go out to the voters. People will run for it. So two people who've been here quite a while that are leaving.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll have an impact that would trickle down too much. I mean, on the planning side of things, which is mostly where this group falls, it doesn't really change anything. Just some new faces. We'll definitely miss Doug though.
It was nice to have him.
I don't think-
When is he leaving?
His last day, I think, is the first week of January, like the 8th or the 9th or something.
Good time to go to Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a little bit warmer down there. When it will be here, yeah, right as January ends and February starts, when it's gonna be the coldest here. So,
It's been pretty warm so far.
yeah, today was,
The extended forecast doesn't look like it's gonna be real cold anytime soon.
today was nice.
And they said that there's an El Nino effect.
Supposed to snow.
There is some kind of snowstorm that's supposed to come through part of off the lake or something, but I
A lot of corn to get out, so let's just wait a little bit.
I can't really see it in the forecast much though, but they were talking, the weather people were talking about it.
They
Up
weren't
north
sure.
of Watertown area, there is so much corn just waiting to go out. There's people still doing high moisture corn. Corn is not ready, so
It doesn't look like it's gonna be cold enough though for any real snow, so.
the snow effect will not be a good thing.
But last year though, Thanksgiving and Christmas was both the big storms,
Yeah,
both holidays.
Christmas was so cold last year.
we had no power
Yeah,
for,
we're lucky that we didn't get the snow that we got, Buffalo and stuff.
Bruce went out.
yeah, it was.
And we had that Christmas night, we had two newer milkers that were milking and they're from Guatemala and they'd never experienced winter before. That
Oh
was-
my God. Poor
What a
guy.
year to do
Merry
it.
Christmas.
Are they still with you?
Must not have been too bad.
It was cold.